Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more of the CasterMuse Narak StarLeague. This is Group F, which is the first group in the round of 32, and right now we're in the loser match. The loser here will be the first player eliminated. Down in the bottom right, we have our Protoss player, one of the big underdogs of the tournament in Invade, someone that I really don't know a lot about, one of the stronger Protoss amateurs, not foreigners. He is a Korean player. We'll see how he can end up doing. Did have a hard time against Zealot's Rush. And in the bottom left, we have IcaruS, a strong and well-known amateur Terran player. He is generally in just about every single tournament. Not quite ASL level yet, but definitely well-respected amongst his peers and able to take games off of anybody. So, as we get into this, guys, I do want to mention that I have definitely been reading all of the feedback. I asked for feedback a few videos ago about the audio, and, you know, I have been trying to apply some of that, but people actually didn't give that many comments about the actual audio. So I would ask you to please watch the video, pay attention to when fights are happening and things like that, and let me know, what do you think about the music level? What do you think about the actual fighting, like the units when they fight each other? Is it too loud or too soft compared to my voice and all that? And do let me know in the comments. For today, I have put the music up a little bit. That seems to be a somewhat common complaint as far as the audio balancing goes. So we are giving that a try here, and do remember that these videos are batched. So even when you give me the feedback, it is going to take probably a few days for anything to change as far as audio. So thank you guys for anyone willing to give that feedback so we can kind of dial this into just perfect audio for people. Never know exactly what people want to hear. You know, for me personally, I'm like, yeah, just give me game sounds. I don't care about commentary. But I'm probably somewhat alone on that. Anyways, the map is Allegro. It looks like we do have a very standard factory opener here from IcaruS. And over on the other side here for Invade, yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. There is a Zealot on the way. Not that that's going to be any sort of problem coming up here for IcaruS. He should be completely fine. Like, this is a pretty good Sim City overall. You're going to have this area that you can run Marines into. So I'm sure he's going to be completely all right. Puts the factory way far up here as well. And out goes the Zealot. So he's going to know exactly where he's at since his probe has already scouted the top right as well as the top left. Okay, so where do we go from here? Is this going to be a 2-depot opener from IcaruS? It looks like it probably will be. He might end up going for 4 Marines. I've seen that gaining a little bit of popularity. Before, it was always 3, but nowadays, with some of the pressure that gets put on, a lot of times it does go up to 4. Now, notice he's holding the Zealot back. This is a very smart move from Invade, because if the Zealot takes much damage, you actually lose most of your early game punch as Protoss against Terran. But if you go in with full health Dragoon, full health Zealot, you actually need like 4 Marines and a Vulture basically to fight that off. So let's see. He is going for that 5th Marine. Here's the 3rd depot, and in fact, no Vulture. Instead, getting a factory add-on, a machine shop here. Bunker on the way, and let's see how he can do, right? The 4 Marines do not beat this, right? Three Marines would lose to the Zealot and the probe. So, see, already he's forced down the bunker, and a big part of that is keeping the Zealot at a high health. IcaruS knows, he pulls back. He is making a siege tank. So as the siege tank comes out, he should be fine. There is another Dragoon on the way. Let's take a look in the main base. 3 pylons, so that's a lot of unit production before Nexus, as well as that 3rd Goon. So let's see if IcaruS can actually get that bunker down. He does gun down the probe very quickly. That's actually very good. That's kind of spotting for when he comes, so that the units can dive in. Invade moving forward with his Dragoons, with the Zealot here. Let's see what he's able to do. Oh, mine. So we actually have an FD Terran strategy here. And in fact, he runs up and he sees the command center, so it's not as effective in FD now. FD is known as fake double. It's a very old build where you act like you're going for a 2-factory build. But instead, it's just 1 factory that you expand behind. You go Marines, tank, and mines. Now, here with no bunker, this is actually a little bit rough. Like, this set of units can really out-micro this set of units. Down comes the Vulture. He pulls it back. It only takes one hit there, but still 3 Dragoons, and the Marines are really getting softened up. He lays some mines down, but some great targeting here. As Invade micros back, he gets rid of 2 of the 3 mines. This is a problem, but 2 of the Dragoons are very low. Not great targeting here from IcaruS, unfortunately, and all 3 Dragoons are left alive. A huge problem. A couple mines go down, 1 gets gunned, and look at this. IcaruS is gaining a huge advantage right now. This is such a problem for IcaruS. Invade is killing it. These 4 Dragoons down the bottom, he forces a cancel. Dude, this is rough. This is a bad situation. Now, like, you look at this, right? A 4 probe advantage. The Nexus just finished. He's got a containment. He forced the cancel. This is terrible for IcaruS, which is, it's kind of interesting to see because there's like a metagame that has kind of developed called the Vulture Expand, where, and you'll see it in a lot of the TVPs that I cast on this channel. If you watch my personal stream over at twitch.tv/Artosis, I use Vulture Expands every single game against Protoss. Basically, you make 3 to 4 Marines and a Vulture, and the Vulture helps to gun down shields. It helps to kill the Zealots so quickly, and it tanks a lot of damage from the Dragoons. So with that initial Vulture, you're normally able to get a bunker up. Here, he went for the quick add-on. And because he went for that quick add-on, we see everything that's occurred here where you just can't get enough units. So IcaruS is in a bad spot. He does get siege mode. He's going to kill a Dragoon. He's going to push them back. Like, the game is going to go on, okay? But he's playing at a pretty significant disadvantage. Look at the probe differential, right? You're down like 9 probes right now. Normally, like, this is a good way to judge in a Terran versus Protoss how you're doing against a Protoss at a given moment. If you can keep your worker count near them, even if they have more bases, you're doing all right as Terran. You can kind of take your bases a little bit later. In fact, there's no way to take them quicker than Protoss because they do maintain map control in this matchup for most of the game. But keeping that worker count up will at least help you to boost your economy and kind of keep up macro-wise. So that's not occurring right now. And the fact that we have a Reaver on the way, I think this is great from Invade as a follow-up. Going into the Reaver, you're going to force anti-air out of your opponent, which makes them even more turtley. Like, you're already sitting here on siege tanks with siege mode. And in fact, he's getting Vulture speed. So it looks like IcaruS realizes that he's in a tough spot, and he's going to probably follow this up with an attack. I think he feels like he needs to get out there. Now, it's possible he just sends Vultures, especially when the Reaver comes over. But he knows that he's behind. He knows it's a tough spot. And sometimes the best thing to do there is just kind of go across the map and pray that you can get your opponent out of position, maybe pick off some probes, maybe get him to step on some spider mines, things like that. Now, the Observer comes over, gets gunned down by the hidden turret. This is always a great move to do because, you know, obviously as Protoss approaches, they don't know that there's a turret under there. And if they go just a little bit too close, they are going to die. But yeah, taking a look, there is shuttle speed on the way, 2 Zealots and a Reaver in Invade's shuttle right now. So that is very strong. We have another hidden turret here under the engineering bay. I'm liking it. Another turret up here. So it's pretty good turret coverage. It's not perfect, but this is what you do when you don't know. If you know there's Reaver, you might put a couple more. Like, maybe you'll put one over here, right? Maybe you'll put one, like, here or something, just to make sure it can't just fly over turrets. And, but this is good, right? It kind of zones out that first fly-in. This gives IcaruS a lot of time to prepare for the shuttle actually coming in. Like, for instance, when they get shuttle speed, they can just fly right in without too much of a problem. Now, taking a look at the map, you can see what IcaruS is up to. He's laying a lot of mines around the map. This is giving him a ton of vision, and he's, oh my god, this is actually really clever. So he has all these mines kind of blocking movement up here and spotting units moving, and then he sneak expands to 12 o'clock, which is something you don't see very often from Terran players. There's, like, no... Because Terran has no map control, as soon as this is found, it's dead. Whereas if another race takes a sneak expand like this, you can maybe stop attacks on it for a little bit. Maybe not full time, but, like, your Dragoons can start to get into position to block. Here, there's no blocking. It's just about Protoss not scouting this. So a very clever move from IcaruS to try to come back. I think that this is actually, like, a big brain move, because I've been talking about how tough this is and how... Look, Invade is playing very solidly. Like, there's no way to really attack him. Getting more Reavers, Templar Archives, everything looking pretty good for him. But a sneak expand can be one very good way to come back. Now, as I talk that up, it gets found immediately. So he loses one SCV. The command center's alive, and I think it will get home. So that's good. Notice how he's not really moving out too quickly. He knows that getting out of position here is rough. And he's already done a lot just by stopping this from ever starting, right? This is a fast third command center that's not going to be mining for a long time. So it's not actually gaining any value here for IcaruS. Now the starport is coming up. What do we have as far as upgrades go? +1 is done, so he is going to want to get into that science facility, of course. Where is that science facility? There's the second armory. Am I crazy? Where's the science facility at? There it is. I don't know how I couldn't see that. But he is going to continue that upgrade Terran style. Taking a look at the actual numbers of the game, 49 probes against 66... 49 SCVs against 66 probes. And look at that, 50 supply differential. So definitely Invade still holds the advantage just from that early Dragoon and Zealot pressure. More shuttles coming. Psystorm almost done. I think it's a great continuation. If you get into an advantage like this and have speed shuttles and you have Psystorm, you just macro solidly, it's very hard for Terran to attack. Terran kind of has to go towards maxed out supply. And by the time IcaruS maxes, Invade can very easily be on 5 to 6 bases. That is not going to be a problem. Whereas if you try to attack too quickly, you're just going to get Psystormed to death. I mean, Protoss has too many units. As you can see, this is a huge supply difference right now. All right, so it looks like he wants to do something with this dropship. Like, he loaded up the vultures for a moment. Let's take a look. Cannon, 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 cannon's on the way. So I'm not sure if he's really going to find damage with the dropship. It's not bad to try, especially, once again, when you're behind like this. That initial command center still flying so slowly across the map as he does land a new third base here at the more standard location that we'll see it at. IcaruS sieging up, throwing down some turrets, just trying to maintain that turtle. And here we go. 3 shuttles ready. 158 supply here for Invade. And he's going to bomb on the tanks immediately. Look at this. Drops 2 Reavers out. Not a great shot with this one. This one gets a great shot. And look at that. A bunch of tanks explode. Oh, my God. That is absolutely huge. So many tanks have fallen. He will end up losing all of his shuttles and all the tech units in them. But great, great, great Psystorms. This third base is probably going to die. And, in fact, if he just moves these up, he might be able to pick off the tanks. Oh, my God. Getting 1, 2. And will he get that third one? Huge shots right there. He does end up getting it. Loses most of his army, but the command center will end up falling. Okay, that was crazy. That was kind of crazy. And honestly, who was that better for? Because of this additional command center, I think that was slightly better for IcaruS. I do. Like, I don't think it was a bad move, a bad idea from Invade. He had the 3 speed shuttles. He saw the clump tanks. He had so many sources of splash damage. He had Reavers, he had Psystorm, he had Zealots to try to drag mines, and he did. He eliminated all the tanks here. But there's a third command center ready that flew home from that 12 o'clock base. So IcaruS, you know, the supplies have been reset a little bit. He didn't lose too many SCVs or anything like that. You know, it's not that he has a great SCV set or anything like that either. Like, look, his saturation is not super good. He definitely needs some more workers, but I think he can't be completely unhappy with that. You're just reducing that army count, and Invade was only on 4 bases at that time. So it's not like he's running away with the game. If he had 5 bases saturated, that would have been a much better move. And I know that almost kind of sounds weird, but yeah, when you have 5 bases as Protoss in this matchup, oh God, a Psystorm drop. Oh. Doesn't, again, get that many SCVs. That was a quick reaction from IcaruS, and you can see how red these are. But yeah, you know, if you're attacking doing moves like that in 5 base versus 3 base, it's very strong as Protoss. But when it's 4 base, your economy's not that much bigger, so Terran can kind of keep up still a little bit with that supply. So let's see. I mean, IcaruS, he's got a long road to climb right now. And you can see the macro from Invade is really starting to pop off here. We have 10 gates in the main, another one coming. Stargate on the way. Getting a second forge for more upgrades. The Stargate almost certainly will be for Arbiter Tech at this point. I love that continuation of Arbiter Tech. Some more gates in the top right. Always good to spread your gates between multiple bases. And the probe transfer coming up as well. Really no map presence right now for IcaruS, who is down about 70 supply. What a tough situation. He's definitely got to make some sort of plan here. As 2-1, he starts +3 attack. But what is the plan? How do you win this game as IcaruS? You know, I think it has to do, like, there's no way to suddenly win through a push. Like, the tech is too good from Invade. The macro is too good from Invade. He's got too many bases at this point. So I think you have to basically take your area completely. Well, we do have a Suicide Reaver drop coming in. Doesn't look like it's going to get that much done, honestly. Might get the... Yeah, okay, so he gets like 3 SCVs and a turret. Maybe 4 SCVs there and a turret. So not the greatest drop. But anyways... As I was saying, I think you have to basically take your whole quadrant here as IcaruS. Like, probably take this base. So you're going to have to, like, hold this area. That's tough. This base is probably a little bit easier to take, but it doesn't send you anywhere. Like, maybe he tries to take this base and then pushes to the north and splits the map. Not entirely sure, but the first thing he's got to do is max out. There's really... I don't think there's much play for him until he's max supply. Because as you can see, Invade is max supply. And with 68 probes mining on so many different bases, he is just going to start gaining a huge bank, which means he's going to be able to remax out over and over and over. So you need, like, perfectly efficient trades here as IcaruS. He needs to get that max supply, continue those upgrades, and make it so if Protoss attacks him, he's kind of throwing away an army. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to that spot, but here we go. Invade rotating through the map. He's going to the north. Foregoing this area, I think that's smart because look at this. This is a little bit of a choke, a lot of turrets. It looks like, yeah, he is planning on taking this base, which is, I think, probably the smartest thing he can do. This area, not as well defended. We only have a couple mines, and oh my god, here we go. IcaruS going to get attacked here. Invade running down a lot of speed zealots, running in, getting on top of these siege tanks. He has that shuttle as well. Drops out a High Templar. Some Psy Storms starting to fall. I think this might be game, honestly. This is so much damage to his army. Look at this. Psy Storms all over the siege tanks. Going to make a couple Archons. Well, right in the face of Terran. They're just going to die now. Okay, so he does back up. But look, 92 supply against 153. Better bank, better income for Protoss. Look at this. 8 more gates. So what are we up to? We're up to 21 gates, it looks like. Something like that. 20 gates. I don't know. Stargate's getting out here as well. Stasis, I know, is already done. He's getting Kadarian Amulet for more Templar energy, for more Psy Storms. And now IcaruS is going to try to expand to 6 o'clock. Not sure if it's going to end up working out for him. Look at this. Invade, even with the small moves to pick off a few siege tanks here and there. Honestly, not sure that he even needs to be microing that heavily. I feel like just continuing to macro well here is going to be the key to victory. Removing some of these mines, but yeah, doesn't have a big enough army here to really engage. Almost maxed back out. IcaruS with a good count of factories. 7 is going to be fine in this type of situation. Here comes that command center for the 4th base. This is crucial. If this gets delayed at all, I think he just has to GG. Like, there's not a lot left here. Look at this. He's down at 70-something supply. And here we go. Invade attacking in. Once again, the Zealots getting on top of these siege tanks. Storms on those frontal tanks. Oh, God. The SCV's walking through the storms as well. Taking a lot of damage. And not even able to get over 100 supply at this point. Invade just controlling this game from the beginning to the end. And let me tell you, this really is the end at this point. Look at this. The command center is floated out of there. It's not like it's going to get better for our Terran player at this point. The constant macro coming out of Invade, like I mentioned, this is really kind of the only option pushing forward. And as you push Protoss, you're kind of expanding. But he doesn't even have enough to hold on to this. We're at almost 20 minutes, and he hasn't secured that 4th base yet, which is really, really tough. In a healthy Terran versus Protoss, you're probably going to have that 4th base up by 16 minutes mining. But here, this is like getting much later than that. Look at this. Almost no minerals left in the main, even transfer the SCVs. Very few SCVs even remaining within this game as well. So as we see Invade continue to macro up, I mean, he has a lot of options here. It looks like a recall might be the way he wants to finish this off. A recall on this base, of course, will explode it. This might be his recall clump. Let's see. And here we go. Where is it? What? Oh my god. I think he didn't get recall. Yeah, he just started it. So he went in for the recall, but he didn't have it, so he just stasis. That's hilarious. But an attack move is going to basically do the same thing. Too many units here. Psystorms onto the tank clumps. He did stasis these back 2 tanks, so that's going to allow him to get up onto this high ground much more quickly than otherwise. And this has to be GG. There's no way IcaruS is going to stay in here any longer. There's just nothing left in this game, and he knows it. A tough opener for him, but IcaruS, a strong Terran player, will be our first eliminated here from the CasterMuse Narak StarLeague. And Invade going to go to that final match. So definitely do check that out. That is going to be going up against Mind, a much more accomplished Terran player. We'll see if he's able to take down the newcomer Protoss very shortly here. But yeah, dude, IcaruS just doesn't want to leave at all. He's got 82 supply and 38 SCVs. He's like, okay, these 5 tanks, I can still do this. But right now we're on 6 bases for Invade. Look at this, is funny. Trigoon rallies can't get through. You know, another base, a 7th base coming up against the 3 bases. Like, you don't have enough money to make another command center. You can't produce SCVs and out of your 7 factories at one time. I mean, every Terran player knows this position. He's probably a little bit sad that he is going to be the first player eliminated. It is unfortunate. You know, there's only so many great tournaments per year to participate in. And to go out right away in that first round, definitely painful when you spend all day practicing, right? But a heroic effort. Invade, just a bit too strong here. More Arbiters coming. This time he will have that recall. Oh, there it is. Finally hits the recall. And, well, that is seriously got to be it. Like, he's even going to lose the command center this time, I think. More attacks coming in. We're down. Okay, GG.